what most hypnotists don't tell you about hypnosis. So what if I told you hypnosis isn't mind control? However, you still can follow every command that I give you. So what hypnotists don't tell you, this may shock you. Not because it's something weird, but because it's far more ordinary and far more powerful than you think. So during this audio, you're going to learn different things about hypnosis that maybe you've never heard before. My name is Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so you can achieve success. And success is here, and you might as well be ready for it. And one of the easiest ways to be ready for it is to control your mind, gain control of your mind with hypnosis. So the first thing that hypnotists probably don't tell you, or maybe you haven't heard before, is you are always in control. So most people who need to do hypnosis, they actually need to call a hypnotist, not as a last resort after they've done so many other things. They need to call a hypnotist because they've actually lost control of their suggestions they're giving themselves, their thoughts, their emotions, their focus, and reality. So when you feel that you're not getting the reality that you want to create, then it's actually a really good thing to call on the help of a hypnotist and do hypnosis. So imagine that. So like I said, suggestions. If you're not giving yourself really good suggestions, so your self-talk, that's going to lead to certain thoughts. And those thoughts lead to emotions. And those emotions lead to your focus, and that focus leads to your reality. So if you notice that one of those is not in your control and your results are completely random, even though it feels like you keep trying thing after thing, then you probably need to gain control of your mind. So with hypnosis, you can't be forced to do something against your will under hypnosis. You actually are able to accept or reject all suggestions based on the morals you grew up with, your values, your motivations, what you want to achieve and don't achieve, and all these different things. So your thinking, it never actually shuts off when you're in deeper trance. In fact, you have more control because you have a heightened awareness and you're focusing your attention on things that you probably haven't focused your attention on yet. So you are in control. The second thing that you probably won't hear hypnotists say is it doesn't have the same effectiveness on everyone equally. So some people are really highly suggestible, and others, they're just not as suggestible. So I would say about 20% of people are really, 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 really good for hypnosis. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, what you suggest to them, they're just so ready to make changes that they can go in a deep trance and make all of those changes. Whereas 60% of people, they get to about a medium level of trance. So they're able to make all the changes as well. And then another 20% of people, they get to a light trance, and they're also able to make all the changes as well. So it doesn't actually matter what level of trance you have. If you're the 20 in light trance, the 60 in medium, or the 20 that go really, really deep. The thing is hypnosis, the effectiveness, it's different for everyone. So a lot of people, they don't say this up front because they don't want to say that it might not work on you. However, hypnosis, we can't guarantee results. What I can guarantee, though, is you can get what you want if you put the effort in your mind and you listen to what I have to say during hypnosis. So, when's the last time that you really wanted to make a change and you took actions to make that change and it didn't happen? Chances are when you set your mind to something, you do it, you get the results that you want. So hypnosis, regardless of how deep the trance you go into, if you set your mind to something, then you can certainly get it. So it works for everyone differently. And this means everyone can get results in their own way. The third thing that hypnotists probably don't tell you is hypnosis is not a one-time fix. So a lot of people, they've contacted me and they're like, I want to do a hypnosis session. I want to do this. And they'll have a problem that they've had for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years or more. And I say, okay, we can work on that problem. We can probably get rid of that problem in 1 or 2 sessions. Then what? And they say, what do you mean, then what? And I say, well, what do you want to do instead? We need to give your mind something else to do. Because think about it. If someone wanted to get rid of fear or anxiety, something like this. Once they get rid of that fear or anxiety, their mind was motivated by this fear and anxiety for so long. This was causing them to actually take action or not take action. So if you change the meaning of fear and anxiety and they don't experience these in the same way that they did before, how are they going to be motivated then to do something different? So then we need to take a few sessions to put in new programs, new beliefs, new behaviors, new habits. So even though hypnosis is really, really effective, it's not something that just happens so fast and everyone is good to go. Now, some people who have lots of experience with hypnosis, I do see some clients that I've worked with in the past, and they come just for a session or two to check on things, put in some new programs, and get what they want. This is a bit different, though. If someone is coming for the first time and they want lasting change, this is going to require multiple sessions. I usually tell people, why not do at least 4 sessions? You can get rid of your problem, and then you could spend a few more sessions installing the programs in your mind that you want. The reason some don't believe this is because they're not sure of the programs that they want in their mind yet. So if you haven't considered something, that's more reason to then install these programs in your mind. So that was the third one. Really, really interesting, because hypnosis, you can get lots of results quite easily and effortlessly because your mind is way smarter than you think. So hypnosis, and what you've probably seen on stage hypnosis and movies and TV, this is not the same as doing hypnosis with a hypnotist. Stage hypnotists, they select the most responsive, probably people that are more extroverted, and they use different dynamics with the audience to amplify the results. It's more of a performance. It's not the same as creating change on the inside. So a lot of people are confused about this, and a lot of hypnotists won't even mention stage hypnosis. I'll mention it if someone asks, especially to say how different it is compared to when I work with you. So the other thing too is that there is a gatekeeper between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. So a lot of hypnotists will say, oh, you just get access to the unconscious mind. And it almost sounds like it's the flip of a switch. However, some people do have resistance, and that's completely fine. That's why I also have a process to make sure that I can see who's going to accept suggestions or not before we even start. And I make sure someone is ready and have already gotten rid of all that resistance before we start. So if you've ever done hypnosis and you didn't quite get the results that you wanted, it's okay if you had any resistance. And even if you're really, really curious about hypnosis right now, it's okay if you think that you have some resistance. That's completely normal. It's just like trying anything new. You're not sure what's going to happen. Maybe you have fear of the unknown. You're not sure of the results that you're going to get. So it makes sense that there would be some confusion or some resistance. The wonderful thing is there's ways to get around it to where you feel really calm, comfortable, and relaxed as you do it. So those are some really important things that you probably didn't know about hypnosis, or you probably don't hear hypnosis say too often. First one, you're always in control. The second one, it doesn't have the same effect on everyone in an equal way, even though it's really, really effective. Hypnosis is not a one-time fix. You do need multiple sessions. Also, stage hypnosis is not the same as the work that hypnotists do with clients, and there can be some resistance. However, there's easy ways to get around that. So thanks so much for listening. If someone will benefit from this, definitely share this with them. If you know anyone that's really curious about hypnosis, if you haven't already, go ahead and like the audio and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next video or the next audio.